we have to make sure as us wives that we don't operate in Jezebel. God began to tell me that even when some things that my husband did that I did not agree with, God said, get on your face. He said, because you don't come up against authority. He said that he's the head figure. He's the pastor in the house. And I created you to submit to him. So I said, I don't understand what he's doing. He said, but get on your face and begin to pray to me so I can deal with him. And you'll begin to see me move by my hand in his life. So you thought I was going to say I had to tell him off. That ain't what I said. I told you that I had to submit. Even when I didn't like it. Even when it didn't make sense to me. But God said, submit. And then even when things happened that I didn't agree with, God said, don't say I told you so. You know what he was doing? He was killing me. Because he knew Jezebel was in me. Now you trying to take over the house. I don't need you to take over the house. Because see, then that would be out of order. He said, I ain't told you to control what he do. I told you to pray for him. I called you to be his helpmate. I called you to undergird him, to lift him up so he can get in that place where he needs to be. Because see, sometimes we say they frustrated me. They getting on my nerves. But see, God has said, I'm trying to give you bigger muscles. What happened when you lift weights in the natural? The more you lift them weights, come on here, the more your muscles get. He said, the more you begin to pray for that joker, the more that you begin to lift him up in prayer, the more I'm going to begin to deal with him. He said, I can do more for him when you pray for him than if you open up your mouth. So when my flesh want to act up, I had to go outside. I'm going to slap this joker. God said, get your mind right. I ain't told you to take over. I told you to submit. He said, because how are you going to raise up a church for them to be obedient if you can't be obedient in your own house? Come on here. How you going to lead? How you going to be a supervisor on your job if you can't lead? Come on here. If you can't submit up under authority. That's the problem with us as people. We want to lead, but don't nobody want to follow. Everybody got to submit to somebody. That's what's wrong. Everybody want to tell somebody what to do. Everybody want to be the leader. Everybody want to be the pastor. Everybody. How you going to be the pastor sitting there? How you going to tell me how to run the church and you can't handle your own house? Come on here. You can't tell me nothing when your house is out of order. Oh, they shouldn't have did that. They shouldn't have did that. I don't understand what it is. God ain't never told me to go through your approval. He told me to do what he told me to do. Now, it's one thing if I ask you what y'all think about that. Right. But if I don't ask you, your opinions are not necessary because I didn't ask you for it. Do you hear me? Walk in your lane and I'm going to walk in my lane. We got people trying to delve in other people's relationships. Come on here. You unhappy, so you trying to make them unhappy. Get your life together. Sit yourself down. That Jezebel spirit trying to control everybody else's house and your house tore up. All right. Come on here, Pastor. Wow. Then we sitting up here. We know everything what's wrong with everybody. Well, if you know so much, why your house out of order? Come on, man. Because if you know something, the Bible said before you try to get the board out of your neighbor eye, get the beam out your own eye first. But we trying to run everybody else, run the church, tell the pastor what they need to do, tell the leader what they need to do, tell the pastor where you come. God ain't never told you that. What did it look like? Come on here, we talked about the tabernacle yesterday. It didn't say that the people can go into the Holy of Holies. The priest, even though we don't go like that anymore. But you got to understand, in certain things, God will grace me that I can pray on your behalf, and He moves even when you're disobedient. That I say, God, have mercy. I pray for your grace and your mercy. I can stand in the gap for you, and God will move on your behalf because I stood in the gap for you. But when you making my job hard, how can I stand in the gap for you? Because now I got to war my flesh. Because you getting on my nerves. So how can I intercede for you when you're the thorn in my flesh? for the church. I'm for the ministry. No, you're not, because when you're against the church, you're against God. Stop being religious. When you're not doing what God called you to do in a place, you are against God. Because see, when God sees you, He sees you as a finished product. It's the job of the man and woman of God to pull you into what He called you to get into. What does that pulling require? That pulling requires you to be uncomfortable. Because some of you have been in places, God pulling things out of you that you didn't never know you had. Try to pull something for a long time. I want you to sit down. Don't resist against me. It's hard. And that's what you're doing. You're giving a pastor a hard time. And they trying to pull and pray for you because you sitting up here and it shouldn't be like that. I should be able to say, now give me easy. Come on. This is how it should be. Your job is not to make my job hard. It's supposed to make my job easy. So when I got to fight to get you where God calling you to be, you give me a hard time, you are an enemy to God. I don't want to do that. I want to do what she doing. Take it up with him, Kanisha. I'm just telling you what he told me to pull out. You don't tell them people on your job that when they hire you for something and you look at, oh, and they do it easy. You don't tell them, I want their job. You see how we'll do more for man and won't tell them supervisor, no problem. We get in church. Now we want to be operate as Jezebel.